Welcome, my friends, to your monthly pick a card reading. So this pick a card reading is for the month of October. This I've changed up my videos a little bit, so instead of having the monthly zodiac readings, I'm just going to leave it at the weekly zodiac readings. And then instead of the weekly pick a card readings, I'm going to have this new monthly pick a card reading. So I hope you'll enjoy these changes. I do apologize if you liked some of the other readings, but I just due to my studies, time constraints, and I'm always telling you, make sure you look after you. We need to nurture ourselves and make sure we have time and energy left for ourselves. So I've realized that I'm spreading myself a little bit thin, and I don't want to get to the point where everything suffers. I want these readings to be true. I want them to be not done out of duty. I want to do them because I absolutely love doing them. So I hope that you will enjoy the changes. So my friends, thank you so much for joining me. For those of you that have subscribed and that like my videos, thank you so much. Your support just means so much to me. So with all that, let's get started. Okay, my friends, we have pole number 1, pole number 2, pole number 3, and pole number 4. So I'm using different stones that I've picked up in my travels around New South Wales. Actually, I'll put that one there. There we go. So my friends, select by pole number the stone that maybe attracts you the most. If you feel drawn to more than one pole, select as many poles as you feel drawn or called to. I'm sure there'll be a message in each one of them for you. So my friends, I'll see you in your reading. Hello, pole number 1. Welcome, my friends, to your October monthly reading. Let's have a look at what messages Spirit has for you. Now we've got the overall energy is inhale the scent of life and open to possibility. Additional message with the oracle, you've got mental repetition. And then the 4-week breakdown, we've got the Ace of Wands, the Lovers, the 4 of Cups, and the Wheel of Fortune. Gosh, I love this energy for you, pole number 1. Okay. Spirit's asking me to start with the oracle additional message, and you've got mental repetition here. And I'm just getting a sense that you're frozen in your mentality, your perception, your way of thinking. There's a sense here that your mind is turning. So Spirit's telling me you're trying to find solutions, but all you're doing is your mind's just jumped on that hamster wheel. And it's like, you know, if you look at the lady's face, she's not frozen, you know, she's not blue in color or anything like that, but her hair is kind of frozen, kind of with the tree, and it feels very wintry to me. I'm also, Spirit's also calling me to see the fog, and I feel like this is a time where things are maybe not that clear, and they're certainly not clear in your mind. And the reason is you've got a 10 here with the 28. You've come to the end of a cycle, the end of a journey. Something's recently completed. And I feel that you're on this, the very doorstep of this new journey. And I feel like the door's ajar, because Spirit's showing me somebody sort of standing there wiping their feet on a mat. The door's ajar, and it's kind of like, do I just push the door open and walk in? Should I knock? And the person's kind of just standing there wiping their feet, kind of hoping that somebody will come to them. And that is an image, that hoping that somebody will come to them. You're kind of on this doorstep waiting for ideas, waiting for the next right action. The door doesn't feel completely wide open, so you don't feel like it's just walk in, but it's not closed either. So it's kind of leaving you feeling a little bit, should I or shouldn't I? And Spirit's drawing me back to this, you know, frozen state. And Spirit just said to me, life is welcoming you forward. Spirit is guiding you forward. It's the, oh, thank you, Spirit. Spirit just said you're overthinking at pole number 1. There's something here that you're overthinking. If you can step back, pole number 1, and Spirit just said to me, by stepping back, we mean just pause. There's no need to rush through this door. Sometimes we're asked to kind of take stock of our past journey, to kind of learn from that, understand that, gain wisdom from it. Because the 10 in numerology is a 1, and the 10 in tarot is a 10. It's the ending of a cycle. So you're at this 10 and 1. And I feel that you're in that in-between stage. I'm really getting an in-between stage, and I think it's kind of messing with your head, pole number 1, for want of a better way of saying that. And, you know, if you think back, every time you were in that in-between stage, you had these feelings of doubt, trepidation, fear, uncertainty. What am I doing? And then little by little, they got replaced with ideas and information. And then suddenly the next step became clear, and then the next step became clear. And there's this almost this spirit is really calling you, pole number 1, just to pause for a moment. And you know, that could just be literally, pole number 1, you saying, I'm not going to worry about that now. I'm going to do my thing and I'll come back to it. But I'm turning it over in my head and there's no ideas, there's no clarity coming. So I'm not gonna forget about it. I'm just gonna lay it down. I'm just gonna put it down, and I'm gonna carry on with what I can carry on with, which is our day-to-day lives, pole number 1. And I'll come back to it. And that is, if you can do that, pole number 1, there's going to be a lot of peace that you find in this transition moment, in this position of transition. And in that peace will come your ideas and your next steps. But just be aware, and I feel like nothing is ever for nothing. Energy is never wasted. There's always a reason behind why things happen if we are really open to see them. And I feel, pole number 1, this state is actually showing you how we block ourselves, how we make things hard for ourselves, how in our search and our determination to find a solution and to move forward, we actually create the opposite. So there's going to be, and I think that's what that pause is important. Information will come to you and you will learn something. Now, interestingly enough, your first overall energy is inhale the scent of life. And the little wording at the bottom is the celestial bouquet awaits. It's waiting for you. It's there. It's not going to go away. And I think that's something that we're starting to understand, is that what is meant for us will always be there. It doesn't go away because we take a wrong turn, or because we have a lapse of judgment, or because we become fearful and we take a different turn. We might get to it with our free will in a roundabout kind of way, but we'll still get to it. And I think that's something that I think you're going to, that's one of the things that you're actually going to not only understand, but I feel like you're going to see it. And inhale the scent of life. It's take time to enjoy. You know, this green is very heart chakra, but I'm also seeing it like the green of nature. So I'm also getting the sense of, remember to do the things you love doing, but also ground yourself, especially with this energy, mental repetition. You might be very much in your head. It's a good idea to ground yourself, and nature does that. Nature helps us do that. And interestingly enough, well, it's my experience, and I think most people, when we're very much in our head, we tend not to be so much in nature until we realize, oh, I need to ground myself, and then we might go for a walk in a park or the beach or something like that and reconnect. Now, Spirit's drawing me to this 31, which becomes a 4. So 4 is stability. Inhaling the scent of life. I was going to say love then. And doing things that you love, reconnecting with you, is actually going to create a lot of stability. It'll ground you. The 3 is joy, and the 1 is that new beginning. And I love how it's 31 and not 13. It's not like the new beginning comes and then there's joy. There's joy in the now. And then the new beginning comes. So this pause, pole number 1, is to find your joy for life again. to begin doing again what you love. Yes, there's a lot on your plate, a lot on your mind, but the messages I'm getting from Spirit is a lot of that can wait. And Spirit's saying really get clear and be really honest with, if you've got a to-do list or just a mental to-do list, be really exacting, Spirit is saying, on what really needs to be on that list. And fill those gaps, those things that you take off your list and go, do you know what? I don't need to do that today. I've already got enough things that I need to do. I'm going to take the things that are not that urgent off, and I'm going to replace them with moments of just peace, moments of joy. And I was just looking at the word scent, and Spirit just said to me, the flavor of your life is changing. So when I get this kind of energy pole number one, it always makes me feel like your previous journey was one of a lot of lessons. I feel like your outer world has probably changed in the sense that maybe things have fallen away, or maybe they haven't at all yet, and this has just been really a journey of self-discovery of you. Now with this scent of life, this flavor of life, I feel like your outer world is going to start to reflect your inner world. Your outer world is going to start to change. So if you've done a lot of letting go in your previous journey, this will be a time where things come in. If your previous journey was a lot of just coming to understand who you are, really getting to know yourself, peeling back those layers to reveal your authentic self, then this next journey will be one of letting go and allowing new things to come in. But I feel like it's your outer world that is going to be shifting quite a bit. And I feel that that's why you kind of want to almost control it. You want to almost know what's going to happen so you can preempt it. And Spirit's saying, no. You know, once you spray a spritz of perfume, you can't recapture those molecules. They're out. And when we change, and when I mean change, you know, my friends, those that have been following me for a while, I'm talking about peeling back the layers and discovering your authenticity, coming back to who you essentially are. You shine your light. You've pulled down a lot of barriers, a lot of walls, and so your light shines through. And you don't recontain that. That just goes out. And it creates change. Now your other overall energy is open to possibility. And the card says the whole world is before you. The whole world is before you. And Spirit, again, sometimes I get really drawn to the numbers, sometimes not at all. And in your reading, Spirit's really drawing me to the numbers. So we've got 23, which in numerology is it comes to a 5, so it's about change. Tarot, the 5s are about change as well. So there is going to be, that's that change that I talked about in your outer world. Your outer world is really going to shift, and I feel that you sense that. I feel that you know that, and I feel that you've already started to see it, pole number 1. And then you've got 2 and 3, and here we had 3 and 1. The joy comes before the new beginning, and here the 2 is partnerships. And I feel that in your reading, and you've got the Lovers here as well, I feel you have people that come in. Now that can be a significant other, it can be a business partner, it can be a mentor, it can be friends, family. I'm seeing it as other people, and it could be one other person or it can be a group of people. It's almost like they come in and there's renewed joy, and then things change. The whole world is before you. Can you even fathom that? Can you imagine that? Do you feel that to be true? Because I feel that this door that we spoke about, that Spirit was showing me that it's just ajar. It's just waiting for you to catch up and to believe. To believe, pole number 1, that you are the person that can take this next step. So when you open up, and the opening up is basically just gaining perspective on what is, understanding what this mental repetition is. It's fear, it's doubt, it's, we are afraid of the unknown, and that's just our humanness, that's normal. But when you come to those understandings, and I think that's what that pause on the on the mat is before you walk through the door, is just understanding that when you change your perspective, the door's open. There's nothing else you need to search for. The Spirit's just showing me a locked door with a key, and the key's not near the locked door. There's no other knowledge you need to gain to walk through that door. The key I'm seeing here is like knowledge, understanding. You've got it all. You are the one that can walk through this door. These open possibilities are for you. But the fog needs to lift, and there needs to be understanding and clarity, and you need to believe that you're the one that can walk through the door, just as you are right now. There's amazing possibilities in front of you, pole number 1. And I feel like there's a lot of good fortune. You've got the Wheel of Fortune right next to open possibilities. This is the first overall energy, and this is where it goes to, pole number 1. So you end your reading with the Wheel of Fortune and then the open to possibilities. The universe is helping you. Look at this beautiful energy with the tarot. We've got week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, all how the energies are likely to play out. You've got a gift from the universe. You've got a major arcana, Spirit helping you. What you need to do, a minor arcana, and then again a major arcana, Spirit helping you. So you've got 3 cards where Spirit is basically showing you the way, and there's just one thing that you need to do. So let's have a look at these. So in week 1, or this first energy for the month of October, pole number 1, you've got the Ace of Wands, and this is a gift from the universe that's aligned with your passions, your dreams, your goals, your calling, your purpose. The wands are the fire signs. It's that fire in your belly. It's what you would truly love to be able to do. And this next journey, look at this one. This next journey is all about, because the wands are your soul, because it's to do with your calling and your purpose. And this next journey is one that is driven by your soul. It's everybody has their different beliefs, but our souls came to this earth for a reason. And I find that sometimes we're learning about ourselves and discovering more authentic ways to live as our true self, and other times we're on, and that forms part of our soul's journey. Of course it does. Understanding ourselves is probably the most important journey, but then there's the soul journey that we do where it actually impacts our outer world, and I feel like it's one of those. It's that kind of journey, pole number 1. And this gift, all you need to do is take it. Okay? The gift from the universe just hangs in the air until we take it. And I feel that this is the partnerships, this is the people that come in. And it can really, because it's the lovers, it can really be a significant other if you're looking for love, pole number 1. If you're already in a relationship, I feel that that relationship deepens. And I feel you're more aligned with each other. And there's a sense that I really feel like you're kind of really on path. You're really on the same journey, and you really help each other. So I don't know if you start a business together, or I don't know how you may help each other, but there's a greater sense of support and encouragement. Now this can be a new person that comes in as well. This can be a mentor, somebody that you meet, and you know, maybe they've written that book and they can guide you, they motivate you. Or maybe it's a group of people and suddenly you've got these soul friends, this soul tribe that truly supports you and encourages you. Because I'm seeing the lovers as support and encouragement to do what you love and to continue your authentic path. And this is guided. My goodness, you've got the sun here, you've got your guardian angel, and the people coming in, you're authentic. So there's a lot of alignment here. There's a lot of clarity and clear direction, following your sun. Now, the lovers is also about choices. And I'm feeling this very, very strongly in your reading because you've got the 4 of Cups directly after it. So this 4 of Cups, if it wasn't already, if this Ace of Wands wasn't very clear to you, or if it made you feel like I can't do that, I don't even know where to start, and you're kind of looking at it going, oh, I don't know. Spirit's coming in with an Ace of Cups. Now this cup is unconditional love, and this cup is fulfillment. It's our emotions and our feelings as well. And there's a sense here, pole number 1, that you've got choices. And I feel these are what you imagined. Maybe it's what, you know, a little while ago in the previous journey, maybe this is what you were working towards. And now Spirit's saying, no, we've got something so much more in alignment for you, so much more fulfilling. We've got these people or person coming in, and there's so much unconditional love in that. This cup is full. These cups are empty. There's more of them, but they're empty. So 1 full cup is better than 3 empty ones. And the reason why these cups are empty, pole number 1, is because Spirit is showing me that they were your goals and dreams that suited a different you. So your past journey wasn't for nothing. Those goals and dreams, you weren't chasing things that weren't meant to be. It's just that that journey changed, like, Spirit really doesn't like when I say the past journey changed you, because it makes, I think we immediately feel like, oh, I need to change. No, we need to peel back the layers and become more authentic. Become who we are without all the layers of what we perceive other people want from us or expect from us, or what we do to fit in, to be able to live a certain life. And you're different now. And sometimes, you know, our mind has to catch up with that, because, you know, our mind is amazing. Like, our brains are just phenomenal. You know, and, you know, there was that a study that was like, if you do something 1,000 times, it becomes automatic. You actually don't have to think about it anymore. And that just helps us save time, doesn't it? I mean, can you imagine jumping into your car and having to remember every time, right, what do I need to do? Okay, I need to make sure that the handbrake's off, I need to turn the key in the ignition, I need to, you know, and go through all your different, you know, you do that when you first get your license. Every time you jump in the car, you know, you've got a bit of butterflies, and it's a little bit like, okay, right, now what am I doing? Okay, just I've got to run through my process. And then after a while, you just jump in your car and go. You don't even think about it. And this is where change is hard for us, because these 3 cups, pole number 1, signify, yep, in that situation I know what I'm doing, in this I know what I'm doing, and then when everything changes and then you've got this new cup, that your heart just goes, oh yes, but your mind goes, I don't know anything about that, I don't know how to do that. But look, if we look over here, we can go on autopilot, I can do that. And so then our mind starts to go, okay, let's try and dissect this. Let's try and, okay, if that happens, oh, okay, I could do this. If that happens, I could do this. And then we overthink everything. And we tie ourselves in a knot, or we freak ourselves out. So pause. Take a minute. Your initial reaction might be no. Then you might be like, oh, but it really feels really good. Or every time I think about it, I kind of get really excited. And then you're like, yeah, but you know what? Better the devil you know. Sit. Take a moment. I think that's going to be so important, because you finish your reading, pole number 1, with the Wheel of Fortune. It's fated. If you just pause, not to have extra time to overthink it, but just to go, right, I'm going to quiet my mind. Thank you, mind. I know you're trying to help me, okay, but let's go with the heart on this one. Let's see, you know, and reassure your mind. Your mind is part of you. It's not to be told off or hated or denied, but tell your mind, you know what? You've always, in every situation, we've always managed. We've always found a solution. We've always got ourselves a situations. Sometimes it was sticky, sometimes it was messy, but we did it. This will be no different. Let's do it. It's fated. The wheel will turn, and it doesn't really matter how you get here. The long way, the short way, the curly way, the straight way. Spirit Spirit says, you know what? It doesn't matter at all. You're getting to these possibilities. The whole world is before you, pole number 1. And maybe that's a great affirmation for this month of October for you. The whole world and all its possibilities are in front of me this month. The whole world and all its possibilities are in front of me this month. I'm going to leave you with those messages, my friends. Love, light and blessings, pole number 1. Have a wonderful month of October, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, pole number 2. Welcome to your monthly reading. So this is for the month of October. So your first overall energy is assimilate your experiences. And then your other overall energy is deepen your concentration. Additional message with the Oracle, we've got hydrate. And then the 4-week breakdown, we've got the 3 of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, the 8 of Swords, and Judgment. Okay, my friends, so I'm going to start with this energy, hydrate. Now, Spirit just said to me, how does this card make you feel? Because I feel like it's going to make each one of you feel a little bit different. And the feeling that I'm getting is like, this is you. And you can see that there's something different. And you're kind of like poking it, but you can't actually see on the other side. Yet the magical scene that's on the other side with this mermaid here, I feel that you can sense that, even though you can't explain it and you can't see it. I feel as well like for some of you, Spirit's giving me the words, the world has passed me by. My opportunities have passed me by. And I feel it's because this portal to another world, a new journey, to you it looks more like a wall. Now, you're still drawn to it because you're still there, and we can see through it. There's the image on the other side. I just got, it's too late. Now, I don't know what that means to you, pole number 2, but Spirit has just shown me like a dehydrated apricot or a prune. And you're looking at it and it's dehydrated, it's shriveled up. And I'm kind of feeling that that's an image that Spirit is giving me on how you might be feeling, pole number 2. Spirit saying dried fruit rehydrate very, very well. And Spirit's not going to rehydrate you with water. You know, and this is going to sound a little bit odd, but it's more like, you know, this is a more authentic you. It's time to celebrate you. And so you're going to be rehydrated in this beautiful liqueur that amplifies all your flavors and your flair. Now, I know that image is probably a little weird, but you know, the funny thing is that I actually, you know, normally with the images that Spirit gives me, sometimes I'll have a little chuckle to myself and kind of think, oh, that's so funny. That's really weird kind of image. But I don't feel like laughing here. It is a weird image, but it's really deep. And so I don't feel that it's funny. I don't feel that sometimes Spirit's trying to be light-hearted, and I feel that here Spirit is trying to show me the energy of how you may be feeling pole number 2. So what I'm getting from this is there may have been loss. There's definitely been a lot of change. And I feel here with this 33, it comes to a 6 in numerology. And the 6 in numerology is harmony, it's family, it's our home life. It can be a business that you run from home, but it's our day-to-day life, our home, our family. So the 6 hits home. Okay, home within us. And I feel with the 3-3, Spirit's calling you back to find your joy again, because I feel that what has probably been hit the most, pole number 2, is your sense of joy. Now, all of you may have been through something completely different. I don't know what this is for you, pole number 2, but it has taken away your joy. It has dehydrated you. You know, I'm seeing that shriveled little prune. It's hurt. It's hit home. But Spirit's saying it's also shown you a lot. It's also shown your resistance. And if you allow it, there's this spark that you may not even be aware of. Maybe now that I've said it, you might go, oh, I kind of every now and again, I do get this little spark of hope. And this little spark has got you curious again about, okay, what is out there in the world for me now? And pole number 2, I really feel like it is so much more magical than whatever maybe you had before. And that's not, thank you, Spirit. Spirit said to me, oh, it's not to make what you had before smaller than what it was. No, it was aligned with who you were then. It was a journey that had a lot of meaning and a lot of depth in it. And I feel like it's a journey that was a long, long time. So I'm seeing here a minimum of 6 years. And then plus on top of that. You know, and for some of you, going into decades. And so I didn't think Spirit was going to give me any examples, but Spirit started to bring me examples. And this can be your children leaving home, and some of you are like, oh my gosh, what do I do now? This could be a long-term relationship that has fallen apart, and you're like, who am I without this other person? You might be retiring, or you might be leaving work to study, or you might have finished your studies and you're going out into the workforce. You might be changing careers altogether. You might be moving to a complete different place. Or you may have your best friend or family that's moving away. But they're those big changes in our life. And it's kind of got you going, gosh, what does my future look like now? I can't even begin to understand. And I don't feel, pole number 2, that this has been recent. With these 2 3s here, I feel that it's been probably in the last 3 years, maybe between 3 and 6 years. I feel the changes have been happening. But now you're kind of starting to deal with it. Thank you, Spirit. Spirit said you've actually been dealing with it. You've actually been growing and learning. Maybe you haven't, found that new job yet, or started that new business. Maybe if it's separation or your kids leaving, maybe you've had to sit with that, and there's been growth and self-discovery in that, and now there's this, where to now? It's almost like you're getting ready to get back out there, go back out there, see what the world holds for you. Now, your first overall energy is assimilate your experiences, and it says incorporate and invigorate. And I love this card with this message that I got with this hydrate card. And look at the 36. The 3s, the joy, finding joy again in your home environment, whatever that means for you. And that comes to a 9. The ending needed to happen in order for you to move forward in a more authentically aligned way. And there's a sense that when you incorporate that wisdom from that last journey, when you work through it and understand it and are able to let it go, your energy is invigorated. This will grow. This spark of curiosity that you have will become like a furnace, and it will be slow burning, and it will be constant, and it gets you out into the world. But first, there needs to be understanding, because when major events happen to us, if we just dive straight in, we dive into our future with all our baggage, not having really understood what was what. So we go into new relationships or the next job or the next stage of our life with all those emotions still attacked. Yes, they still attack us, but still attached. And thank you, Spirit. So Spirit said we attack life. We kind of just get out there and we're going to get back into it no matter what. And we attack life instead of flowing with life. And then we wonder why we kind of, have these crash and burn experiences is what Spirit is bringing me. It's, when we always talk about in relationships, oh, that was a rebound relationship, because we jumped in and we just repeated old patterns, and we just put all our hurt that we were feeling onto that other person. And here I feel that Spirit has been giving you time to really incorporate that information, to understand not necessarily why things happened, but how they helped you grow, how they helped you become more you. Spirit's showing me the image of you know, children leaving home. You know, sometimes you can make it all about them. And then when they go, it's like, oh, but I'm a mum. I don't know how to be anything else. Being a mum is not who you are, it's what you do. And so that experience will bring you back to who you are. Now, the other overall energy is deepen your concentration. And the card says, focus and grow into what could be. And I love how it says, focus and grow into what could be. Stability and understanding bring joy. And you know, the 43 comes into a 7, and 7 is our spiritual number. It's when we connect to our authentic self, when we connect to spirituality, when we begin to see ourselves not just as a human being, but as a being as well. Not just human, but as a being. It's that two-part, isn't it? And we have been working a 7-year this year. 2023 in numerology comes to a 7. And I feel that this year has really been about deepen your concentration. Now the concentration, I'm getting that Spirit is giving me concentration as knowledge. It's concentrating on who you are, not the outside world. Deepen, go within yourself. Refocus, what does that mean to be you? And then you grow into what could be. Now, it's not what could be, it's what always was. But it says what could be because we need to discover that. We need to rediscover that because it gets hidden under layers of life, expectations, shoulding, and all those walls that we build up and the masks that we wear in order to fit in. And as we become more us, we realize that we don't change ourselves for others. We don't change ourselves for experiences. By being ourselves, we attract what is meant for us. Instead of altering ourselves to go out and get things, we become ourselves in order to attract things. And I really feel that that's what you're discovering. And I really feel that that's why you have this Hydrate card. Because I'm kind of feeling like, you know, and this can even be not just looking at the outside world, but this is you looking at you, at the magic of who you are. You know, what's in me? What am I capable of? What rings true for me? And then we've got the 4-week breakdown, or how the energies are likely to play out, pole number 2. And starting the reading, the month with this 3 of Swords really doesn't surprise me. And I think the first week of October, or this first energy, is really going to be coming to terms with how hurt you have been, how disappointed you've been. And it's not a nice place to be in, but this is necessary work, because in order for us to assimilate our experiences, to incorporate, to deepen our understanding and our focus on ourselves, We need to deep dive into those emotions that are attached to those past experiences that have so wounded us. And there's a magic here, and there's almost a protection that Spirit's saying it won't allow, you won't drown in this. Spirit won't allow you to drown in this, but you need to go in and look and accept and understand and release and love and let go. And you know, when we stand on the other side of that, or when we stand looking at somebody going through this, it seems easier than what it is, but it is a hard phase to go through, but so necessary. Now this Three of Swords is in your past, and look, we've got the 3 again, so really thinking like 3 years ago. Or maybe you've been working on this for 3 years. And I feel that this is the final, that final realization, that final acceptance, and that time where, you know, you can really let go, pole number 2. You know, and it's when we get to the point where we can talk about things and there's, you know, talk about the past or situations and there's no more anger in it. You know, we don't cry anymore. We can talk about it almost like a string of events, but they don't have hold or power over us anymore. And Spirit's encouraging this healing because this Ace of Pentacles is a gift from the universe. So Spirit is offering you something here, pole number 2. And it's tangible, it's of this world. So this Ace of Pentacles, we often talk about it like a seed. Now, if somebody gives you a seed and you don't plant it, you don't do anything with it, nothing's going to come of that seed. But if you take that seed and you cultivate it, who knows what could come of it? And there's this sense that this is, in week 2, I feel like there's going to be an opportunity. There's going to be maybe this spark really blossoms into, you know, a little fire, and you're kind of thinking, oh, I'm so ready to just make changes and move forward and no longer let this be part of my life. I'm not going to carry it and drag it around with me anymore. I'm going to heal and be whole again. And I feel it's because this opportunity, whatever it is for you, pole number 2, really has you going, gosh, you know, what can I achieve? And so I think you start looking. Now, in week 3, there's a chance that you might freak yourself out a little bit, and that's normal. You know, when we're taking those steps out in the world, it's a little bit like, oh, you know, like if we get back into the dating game, or we get back into the workforce, or we start studying again, or we move home to another state, another country, or even if it's just another suburb, but there's that upheaval, isn't it? There's that change. And it can have you maybe going, oh God, this is too much. Why did I agree to this? What am I doing? And it might have you wanting to kind of hit pause on everything. So week 3 is likely to have you questioning, what am I doing? What made me think I could do this? Oh my gosh, why did I start this? Why did I say yes? If you can just hold on to that, pole number 2, and just say, I'm afraid. I'm walking into the unknown. I'm out of my comfort zone, and I know that I'm out of my comfort zone because my fears have flared up. I'm anxious, I'm nervous. But that's great. I'm pushing myself. I'm out of my comfort zone. And so it's not going to feel great, but I feel that there's a certain energy behind this where you're kind of going, oh my God, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. This is nuts. And you're going to be nervous but quite proud of yourself. And the mix, and I feel like week 3 is going to be that real emotional up and down kind of like, 1 minute you're exhilarated and excited, and the next minute you're like, oh my God, I can't do this. So it's going to be that excitement and the fear, and that really are going to, really going to have you feeling a little bit like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? And then week 4, you have the Major Arcana Judgment. And this is when you get called out of your past completely. And this Judgment card to me is you've planted that seed. You don't know yet what it's going to grow into. You've got your ideas. You've got your hopes and your dreams and your goals for it. But you know, in October, you don't still know what that's going to be, but this Judgment card shows me that you've taken that seed and you've planted it. You've worked through these doubts and these fears, and you've moved forward, because this Judgment is your guardian angel calling you out of your past. You know, sometimes we feel when we've had big endings, that's it, my life is finished. You know, Spirit's calling me back to the example of when kids leave home. That's it. Gosh, my life as I know it's finished. I'm not a mum anymore. What am I? And there's this great sense of loss. But suddenly it's like, no, I'm still a mum. The role has changed. And you discover you, what it means to be you. And I don't just mean this, it's not gender specific at all. It's just an example to show you. And you rediscover yourself, and therefore you rediscover life. And there is such, like, this is like, I'm just feeling like it's the trumpet of life, like the trumpet of what's the word? I was going to say abundance, but Spirit said no. What's the word? Of triumph. Yeah. I'm not sure if I already said triumph. And it's like joyous and celebration, and you know how we feel when we're on the other side of a difficult situation. And not just because something's ended, but because we've actually healed through it. You know, and we're kind of come back to life because we're, you know, participating in life again. We're celebrating ourselves and life again. And there's real joy here, pole number 2, that I feel that you probably haven't really had this genuine joy in quite a while. And there's excitement and anticipation for your future now, whereas at one stage there was just really a lot of dread. Now there's kind of this momentum that's just making you go, wow, who would have thought? I'm going to leave you with those messages, pole number 2. Love, light and blessings, my friends. Have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, pole number 3. Welcome to your monthly reading for the month of October. Let's have a look at what messages Spirit has for you. So your first overall energy, we have learn from past mistakes. The other overall energy is seek beauty in everything. Oh, I like that. Look at the difference in the colors. It's quite interesting. Now, additional message, we've got strength. And then the 4-week breakdown, we've got the 7 of Pentacles, the 9 of Wands, the 2 of Wands, and the Empress. Oh, I love this. Now I'm going to start with your overall energy, but Spirit said throughout your reading, strength is going to be important, courage is going to be important. Okay, so let's start with your first overall energy. We have learned from past mistakes, grow into greater wholeness. And I feel the colors in this card are very earthy. Now, I know your root chakra is red, but I'm really drawn by these earthy tones, and I'm really drawn to connect with your roots. Whatever that means to you, pole number 3. It says, learn from past mistakes, grow into greater wholeness. You know, and Spirit's kind of saying, look in these murky colors and then look at this white light. You know, it's, even if you're sitting in mud or wading through mud, your inner light is still there. It still shines. Now, we all make mistakes. I think there's, and not one time, there's been many times in our lifetime so far that we can pretty much say, oh, poorly done. Now, understanding that and being able to admit that is the first step of healing. But the most important step of healing is forgiving yourself. Because it's in the forgiveness that we learn from past mistakes. We do have to acknowledge them and accept them, but we do need to forgive them, because if we acknowledge them and we see our past mistakes and we accept that we were in the wrong, but there is no forgiveness that follows, there's a lot of pain in that, and we sit in a lot of pain. We sit with, you know, regret. We sit with wanting, wishing we could have done differently. Now, we all go through this, and some of them are more painful than others. Some of them are like, oh, I'm really not proud of myself for having done that. I'm never going to do that again. And some of them can be very quick, and it's literally to show us, do you know what, I'm not that person. And we release it and we kind of go, right, you know what, I'm never doing that again because I'm better than that. And so it doesn't rob you of your self-worth. In fact, it increases it because it makes you see your self-worth. So some of you are there, pole number 3, but I'm kind of getting the feeling that maybe the majority of you are in the mistake where you wish you could go back and change it. The mistake where you can't quite see how you could have done it differently, but you wish you could have. There's a lot of guilt, maybe shame attached to that. And seeing that and it only increases your sense of unworthiness. It makes you feel like a bad person. Thank you, Spirit. And then what happens is we reject part of ourselves. We kind of go, oh my gosh, I'm not going to get in a relationship again because I'm so bad at it. I'm just going to hurt people. Or you might say to yourself, oh, I was a leader in my field and I did a terrible job, and you only go for jobs that are way beneath your capabilities. But it's something that takes away your power. Okay, it's not taking away your power. But Spirit's saying to me, when we're in that space, we haven't processed it properly. When we're in that space where we think, oh my gosh, why couldn't I don't know how I could have done that differently. I don't know what I should have done, but I wish I didn't have to do that. I wish I didn't have to, whatever it is, pole number 3, Spirit just said to me, maybe, you were a boss and you had to fire people or something, and it's left you crippled with guilt. But Spirit's saying to me, these things that we deem bad, we don't know. We don't know that it was bad. Yes, that situation might have been bad, but maybe that led that person to reevaluate their values, and maybe they found a job that was a billion times better suited to them, and now they're so happy. We don't often get to see that. And maybe they're not. Maybe they're still unemployed and they're not. But maybe that's their journey. Because Spirit just said to me, pole number 3, there's cause and effect in our world. That's how our world works. You pour water on the ground, there's a good chance that if there's any seeds there, they'll grow. There is just, you don't water your garden in a dry climate, it will die. And we as a human being, because we're a human being as well, we don't have that capability to zoom back far enough to see what everything's for. So we need to trust. Now, if we really have hurt somebody and it was not beyond our control, like let's go back to this firing the staff member. If we fired them because they were better than us and showing us up and we felt less than next to them, then you need to look at that, because that's more about you than it is about them. Now, if you fired them genuinely because they were not doing their job properly, and then that's more about them than you. But it still is about you, because there's something you need to learn in that. It teaches strength. It teaches, you know, we have our boundaries. You know, you've built a business, you need to look after that business. There's a lot of ways that this can be pole number 3. And spirits, I just saw somebody nodding their head. And that's kind of spirit's way of showing me that you understand the message. But this is for your growth. It really doesn't matter what happened. And it doesn't matter whether other people agree and say, well, you had no choice, you had to do that. Or whether they look at you and go, oh gosh, you know, that was really bad. It doesn't matter. There's something to show understanding about you. You know, our mistakes, they help us understand our boundaries. They also help us understand our fears. You know, how sometimes we make decisions that are not great, but because we're in a place of feeling insecure or afraid. But they both teach us something. And this card is so, so important in your reading, pole number 3. Grow into greater wholeness, because this understanding heals you on such a deep, profound level that I feel like it really changes things for you. So let's go to your other overall energy. Seek beauty in everything. A world of wonder opens. Sorry, I'm not going to be able to read that word properly. I'm just reading it. I guess that's just the messages. I keep getting wonderful. A world of wonders opens. Now, look at this. Spirit's just 22 is 4, 13 is 4. And I'm kind of seeing 1, 2, 3. And I feel like you're at this middle step. 1 is the first step towards understanding. 2 is really going into it. You're really, 1 was the action. Thank you, Spirit. It was the new beginning. It was that step. It's this situation that's got you feeling a bit like, oh, poorly done. 2, look how powerful the 2 is. You've got the double 2. It's saying the healing is in learning from your past mistakes. And once you've done that, there's joy again. Seek beauty in everything. You know, even in what you did poorly, there's understanding and wisdom coming to you in that, but there probably is for the other person as well. You know, and sometimes we kick ourselves for something that we did, and you know what? It had very little impact on that other person. You know, and we might, if we're lucky, we might hear about them, or we might bump into them and they've got this great life, and you're like, oh my God, I've been devastated for years that I hurt this person, and they're married with kids now and all happy and like, oh, best thing that could have happened. And you're like, oh, we don't know, pole number 3. Seek beauty in everything. And this opens your world. This healing, I feel like it puts you back into the world. A world of wonders opens. It's like this door opens to your new life. And what once was robbed you of life, robbed you of joy and happiness, made you feel really bad about yourself. The healing of that is actually what brings you back into the world, that makes you more joyous and more understanding, more wonderful. This card makes me feel like you're radiating your light, pole number 3, your inner light. Spirit just said to me, there's no more fear. There'll be fear again with, you know, the next journeys and things like that. But there's this new gained understanding of yourself and compassion and forgiveness for yourself that really, it's really profound, pole number 3. And I think where you are now, you probably can't see how much this is actually going to help you, how much this actually moves you forward. And it takes strength, because, you know, sometimes we don't want to look at the mess of something we made, or we don't want to look at how we feel so guilty. We feel so bad about something. We kind of maybe want to brush it under the carpet, but it's still there. And whenever we need confidence, or we kind of miss, because it's still there, isn't it? And this robs us of like love for ourselves. You know, when you've got a regret weighing you down, or guilt or shame weighing you down, you're not gonna fly. And every time you go to take off, it's like, oh yeah, that's there. You know, it has a way of cropping up every time life is about to get good. And that's what those emotions do. That's the hold they have on us. Because every time life is about to get interesting, oh, there it comes again, making us feel bad about ourselves, making us feel unworthy. And then it sabotages those opportunities in front of us. You know, how can you grasp your future with both hands? How can you say, yes, thank you, Spirit, with both hands, when you're busy holding the past with a clenched fist so it doesn't come out? You know, when you go to grab something, oh, there it is again. And Spirit doesn't want that for you, pole number 3. You're worthy of a beautiful life. You're worthy of love, and you're worthy of your compassion and your forgiveness. This doesn't come from another person. This is for you. Look, there's only one person in each of these cards. Just one. So the first week, or the first energy, we've got the 7 of Pentacles. As you start to look at this, your past mistakes, you're gonna feel a little bit like, oh my gosh. And for some of you might think, gosh, were there that many? Oh, you might look at a journey and think, I just made mistake upon mistake upon mistake. Spirit's saying, but it wasn't all a mistake. Something good has come out of this. And this is feeling a little bit downtrodden. This is feeling a little bit like, oh, I'm tired. I'm not up for this. You know, I'm sick of feeling bad about myself. But in not looking at it, you keep feeling bad about yourself. So Spirit's saying we need to pause and go, okay, I need to heal this. I need to work through this. You know, and the Seven of Pentacles is kind of looking at what you're doing and going, okay, do I keep going along this path? Or do I say, do you know what? Enough's enough. I'm going to take the one pentacle. I'm going to take this understanding and I'm leaving the rest behind. Because there comes a time with all the work that we're doing that there's understanding that comes to us and it makes us go, you know what? Yes, if I could go back, I'd probably do that differently. But I'm different. What if the past you, that was what they thought was the best action? How can you judge that? We can't. And even if it was a bad choice, it's brought you to a greater understanding. This stage, Spirit just said to me, this stage, don't stay too long in it. Because rather than allow healing to come through, judgment can. And you can actually pick yourself apart even more. And it's not that energy that Spirit's asking you to embrace, pole number 3. It's the energy of, okay, yeah, not great. But what have I learned? How am I now? Sometimes it just turns us into incredibly compassionate people, and we are kinder than we ever were. Sometimes it just makes us realize never again. And we know without a shadow of a doubt that we won't make that particular mistake again, because there'll be more mistakes, trust me. But there's a clarity that comes with this if you don't sink into judgment, because judgment would tear you apart. You need to deep dive, my friends, with compassion. Now, I like week 2. It doesn't look great, but this 9 of Wands is looking at this 7 of Pentacles. And he's kind of going, yep, I'm a little bit beaten up. I'm a little bit exhausted. I'm a little bit worse for wear. But boy, have I learnt a lot of things. I'm still hopeful. The Wands is your dreams, your goals, your purpose, your calling, your passion. It's the fire. This is the earth signs. The Pentacles are the tangible things in your life. It's life, this reality. And your soul, the Wands is your soul as well. The Pentacles are your body. This 9 of Wands is looking at this 7 of Pentacles going, I'm still holding on to my dreams. And here I'm kind of getting the feeling that your soul is starting to guide you, because that's what you're tapping into. That's what you're understanding. That's the beauty that you're starting to discover. And you're kind of, you're kind of using it for a bit of support. You need a bit of support. You need a bit of, okay, this has been hard. But in this energy, it's like, I need to rest, not give up. I need to take a moment. I've got a lot of life lessons behind me. And I'm going to use those. I'm going to take the wisdom from them and I'm going to use them. And I feel here, you know, here he's kind of leaning, it's a shovel, but he's kind of leaning on the Ace of Wands. And I feel like here it's like not really seeing it because you're too focused in reality on what was. But here, it's still holding you up, but you've got your head up. You're looking at the past, but you're no longer kind of drowning in it. And that brings you to this beautiful energy in week number 3 of the Two of Wands. Allowing the past to be in the past. This is anchored to the past now. This is no more. It's there because it shows that you have taken the lessons, the wisdom. You understand. This is that grow into greater wholeness, learn from past mistakes. You have. And now look at the difference. Look at the difference in how they're holding the Ace of Wands. Here it's like out in front of you. It's like this is healed energy. This is feeling a world of wonders opens. The world is in your hands. The world is your oyster. What do you choose? There's new dreams, there's new goals, there's a new soul purpose calling you. And there's a sense here of this is limited. You're looking at this as if this is all there is. One bush in the whole of the world. And here you've got the world in your hand, looking out into the horizon going, oh, what do I want now? And we end your reading, pole number 3, with the Empress. This is harvest time. This is where the strength that you have shown and the hard work that you've done, you reap the rewards. The Empress is abundant. She is also, she's often depicted as a pregnant woman because she gives birth to new ideas. She's creative. And there's this sense of creating a new world for yourself, a new life for yourself. And it's hugely abundant in whatever way that sits with you, pole number 3. And look, to have the Empress right next to seek beauty and everything, the Empress is like Venus. She's beautiful. She beautifies her world just by simply being in it. But she also, that is something that is important to her, to have a beautiful, healthy world. You've got seek beauty in everything. A world of wonders opens. And this is the birthing of new ideas. This is the birthing of a whole new wondrous world that opens for you. And this is accomplishing those dreams and goals. And Spirit just said to me, you're not accomplishing them in the 4th week, but you're seeing the possibility in them. You know, this is like a fairy who thinks she can't fly, and suddenly she realizes, oh, I've got wings. I didn't realize I had wings. That's that stage. She hasn't taken flight yet, but she's realizing what she's capable of. She's realizing her own greatness, her own potential. Not gender specific, just take it, it's just an energy. But you are realizing, pile number 3, your potential. You know, and the Empress, she doesn't understand the word lack. She doesn't lack self-confidence. She doesn't lack self-love. She doesn't lack resources. It's very strong energy to end your reading on. Very beautiful, pole number 3. I'm going to leave you with those messages, my friends. Love, light, and blessings, pole number 3. Have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, pole number 4. Welcome to your monthly October reading. Let's have a look at what messages Spirit has for you this month. So we have your first overall energy is align with your ideal rhythms. Nice. The other overall energy is uncover your softer self. I like this. I like the green with the blue and the green with kind of like that purpley pink color. We've got receive healing. Gosh, look at how these colors, love that. Now the 4-week breakdown, we've got the Page of Wands, the Page of Swords, the Queen of Wands, and the Page of Pentacles. Oh my goodness, pole number 4. Wow. Look at these pages, and then the Queen in the middle. Now, I have to start with these pages. You've got 3 out of 4 pages. You've got all court cards. This talks of a journey. And you've got the Page of Wands, the Page of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles. So week 1, you've got the Page of Wands. And this is the page that has accepted the Ace of Wands. Okay? The Ace of Wands is a gift from the universe that's aligned with your soul, your purpose, your calling, your passions, what you love to do. Now this Page of Wands has taken that Ace of Pentacles and is going, okay, how can I bring this to the tangible world? Because the aces are ideas, opportunities, possibilities, and the pages see value in them. They don't see how they're going to achieve them yet, but they're going to learn everything they need to in order to do that. So this Page of Wands is going, okay, I've got my dreams and my goals, I've got my passions, I've got my purpose, I've got my calling. How do I bring that into the world? And the pages are that young energy, which is curious and willing to learn and not afraid of making mistakes. It kind of says, okay, I'm going to give it a go. Now this Page of Wands takes its passion, its calling, and it goes straight into this Page of Swords. Now I really want, this Page of Wands is looking to the future. This Page of Swords is looking back at the Page of Wands. The Queen of Wands is looking forwards at the Page of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles is looking forward to the future. Each of these court cards talks to the other. So this Page of Swords is fully on board with this Page of Wands. So this Page of Wands is going, right, what can I do? This is about my soul purpose. This is my goals and my dreams. So pole number 4, hugely important. And then you've got the energy of the Page of Swords, and the Page of Swords is going, right, what are my ideas? Oh, thank you, Spirit. Spirit's just calling me back a little bit. So Spirit just said to me, the Page of Swords has just accepted the Ace of Swords. So you've got the Page of Wands that accepted the Ace of Wands, and he's going to move forward on it. Then the Page of Swords, you've got the Page of Swords, and the Page of Swords has accepted the Ace of Wands. Now the Ace of Wands is clarity. It's a gift from the universe that brings clarity, understanding, wisdom, choices, ideas, inspiration. And this Page of Swords is looking back at the Page of Wands. So it's still on the same journey. And it's going to apply the energy of the Ace of Swords to the energy of the Ace of Wands. And it's going to move forward. There's air and fire. The swords are air signs and the wands are fire. And Spirit saying to me, there's, well, I live in Australia, so there's nothing like wind to get a bushfire going. You know, wind fuels fire. And this combination of energy really moves you forward to the Queen. Now, the Queen energy, again, here's the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Swords has not taken over. The Swords has come in to bring ideas, to fuel those goals and dreams. Because here we have the Wands again. And the Queen no less. The Queen of Wands, she knows that she will receive what she needs to receive in order to continue on her journey. This is the energy that you don't push. She's who she is. The Queen of Wands is unapologetically herself. And that draws what she needs to her. What doesn't come her way, she knows is not meant for her. She's not, none of the queens are, but she's not a queen that will cry over spilt milk. If it got spilt, it wasn't for her. It was for something else. Maybe it was for her to not walk that path, to move over a bit, a little course correct. But she understands that what comes to her is what is for her. And then she grabs hold of it. She follows, she's holding a sunflower. She follows her sun. She follows her calling. She follows that fire in her belly. The Wands is exciting. The Wands is exhilarating. And there's an element of magic with this black cat on the card. This is, you know, real synchronicities, real alignment. Things, situation, people falling into place without you having to do too much. And do you know, you've got pages and a queen, you've got no knights, and the knights is the doing. This is all planning and then allowing it to happen. It's almost like if you can think it, you can achieve it. It's kind of that energy. And this Queen of Wands is then looking towards the Page of Pentacles. And the Page of Pentacles has accepted the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is a gift from the universe that is tangible. We generally say it's a seed because it can be cultivated and it grows into something. It has longevity, it has roots. So it changes our future. It's not generally the gift of just a short journey. It's generally a gift that gives for future journeys. It just says the same as when we plant a tree. We plant that tree for future generations. And this Page of Pentacles takes that passion, that calling, those dreams, those goals, those ideas, that wisdom, that clarity, and it brings it to the tangible world, or it looks at how it can bring it to the tangible world. Where should I plant this seed? How should I plant it? How do I look after it? But it's tangible. You know, I didn't want to say it because these are general readings, but Spirit keeps bringing me it's a miracle. And you'll see just how much of a miracle at the end of October or sometime leading into November. And Spirit's drawing me, like, look at this one. Look at these ones. You've got, you know, it says receive healing. You know, there's so much light. There's so much energy. And it's not to say that there won't be hiccups along the way. These pages, they symbolize mistakes. You know, at the start of our journey, we're going to make mistakes, but the pages don't mind. They don't get caught up on that. They know that if they want to move forward, they're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. They just see it as, oh, okay then, okay, well, yeah, that didn't work, so I'm not going to do that again. But they don't beat themselves up about it for the next century. They just kind of get on with it. They're kind of going, okay, so, okay, well, I'll cross that off my list because that doesn't work. So, okay, what's next on my list? That's the energy of the page. They're curious and they're willing to learn because they know they don't know, and they don't feel like they should know. They don't beat themselves up because they feel they should know this or that. They're willing to take their time and learn. And learning means we make mistakes. We don't get things right all the time, first time round. And I feel that in this energy, pole number 4, in this understanding, the healing that you receive, and I feel like you're receiving, it's this Queen of Wands energy, you're receiving. And the healing, I feel like you're receiving to move forward. You're receiving the understandings, you're receiving these aces, these gifts from the universe. And I can't get that word magical out of my head. It just keeps coming back to me. This is a magical time for you, pole number 4. And even while you're making those mistakes, and there'll be times where you might feel a little defeated, pole number 4. But Spirit's saying, not for long. You might kind of feel like, oh, I'm just going to lay in bed and put the covers over my head today because, oh, I'm just not moving ahead with this. I'm so stuck. And then suddenly you put the covers over your head and you just try and tune out, and bam, an idea will come. All that passion, that fire in your belly will flare up. Or there'll be something. There'll be just this idea, just this, oh, what if I did this? And then your covers are thrown off and you're out of bed as fast as anything, willing to give it another go. There's so much enthusiasm in this reading, pole number 4. I feel like there's so much enthusiasm for you. It's almost like let me at life. I just want to get to life. I just, let me at it. I just want to be in this energy. Because this curious energy, there's excitement bubbling underneath it. The pages are excited energy because they're like, gosh, they see the potential. They don't know how they're going to do anything yet, but they see the potential. So there's this excited energy. And then your first overall energy is align with your ideal rhythms. And the card says, be one with your inner self. Align with your ideal rhythms. Be one with your inner self. And I feel, pole number 4, that's a message with these pages. Because the Page of Swords is looking back at the Wands, and the Queen of Wands is looking at the Page of Pentacles. So it is all about your calling, your purpose. Now, our calling and purpose comes when we're in alignment with ourselves, when we are being true to ourselves, when we are being authentic. That's when we also set goals and dreams that are really fulfilling to us, because they hold meaning for who we really are. We're not doing it to please people or to make ourselves look good, or so that others would be proud of us. You know, I'm seeing this as an eyeball, and it's kind of like you're going to see aspects of yourself that maybe you've not seen before. I feel like you're also aligning, it says here align with your ideal rhythms. I feel like you're aligning with like the energies that are in you and around you. You know, I feel like that when you need to rest, you'll rest. When you need to pull those covers over your head, you're going to pull those covers over your head. When you feel lost, you're going to feel lost. When you make mistakes, you're going to make mistakes. And it's kind of like you're going with it all. Like you just, you know, it's almost like, oh, that didn't work out. Okay, I need to rethink this. Okay, let's do that. Let's try that. You know, and Spirit's saying, you know, this is a seed that we plant, but you know, sometimes seeds don't take off. You know, so maybe we need to plant a few seeds in order for, you know, one to sprout. Maybe the mistake is that we put this seed in clay soil and it needs sandy soil, so it rotted and it died. Okay, right. The pages go back to the drawing board and go, right, I need another seed. Here it is. Okay, let's do this differently. Let's put it in sand. Then you might not water it enough, and so it shrivels up and it dries up and it dies. Oh, okay then. Okay, so I need to plant it in sand and I need to water it a lot more. But every time, all you hold on to is the gained knowledge. You don't, I mean, you know, I do see you putting the covers over your head. So you might think, oh, I got the sand bit right, but oh, it still died. Oh. So you might retreat, and then you might kind of think, oh, I don't know how I'm going to make this happen. And there can be a little bit of doubt, and you know, because there's that human aspect of yourself that's not going to go away, even on magnificent journeys like this pole number 4. But there's a sense that you're going to align with it all. I feel you really balanced. There's so much hope, there's so much drive, but it's not blind. I'm going to give that a go. You're not looking at the next 20 steps in front of you. You're literally looking at the next step. And then there's this pause. let's see what comes back. This is not running around planting a billion seeds and see which one takes, and then kind of going, oh, which one was that one? And this is thorough. It's like, okay, I've got my ideas and my passions and my goals and my dreams. What can I do with that? What ideas? What does that mean? And then the ideas come, and then it's like, okay, then let's see what comes to me. And the pentacle, the tangible things come. And then you work on that, and then it kind of starts again. And it's like, you know, every time there's a hiccup or a mistake, it doesn't stop here. You don't give up. It's kind of like this energy just keeps going. And I feel that's why I'm getting the word success is assured. I don't know how long it's going to take you, pole number 4. And I guess that's because it'll be different for all of you. But I don't even think you mind. The pages enjoy the journey. They're not rushing to get to the next stage. They just want to, oh, let's put this idea into practice. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, let me go back to the drawing board. Let me put this into practice. They don't mind. And you've got the Queen energy here, which is that receptive, let the universe bring to me what I need. This is perfect energy for creation. And you're really aligning with you. And I feel, pole number 4, you've probably done a lot of inner work. I really feel like with this makes me feel like it's an eyeball. I really feel like you've looked within yourself. You've looked at yourself and what that means, and who you are and how you are. And I feel that it's that has created this whole space. There's a whole lot of healing here, because I'm seeing the green is your heart chakra, and there's so much more green on this card than anything else. Your heart's open, your heart's full. And then you've got the blue. The blue's your throat chakra, and it's listening and speaking your truth. And I always feel like the throat chakra is where we learn, because we learn from the information that comes to us, so in what we hear, and we also learn about ourselves in what we say to other people. And then there's that bit of yellow, which is your solar plex, and that is your personal power. That's yourself. And you're really aligned, I feel. You're really aligned. And we finish your reading with your other overall energy, pole number 4, and it's uncover your softer self. Beauty lies beneath. And I think this, you know, there's a real, you know yourself, and yet this journey, you're uncovering more and more about yourself. And as you go, I feel like there's this, there's this softening in you. You know, with each mistake that you make, you're kind of like, oh, damn. But then you're kind of like, okay, I've just got to figure out another way. So you're seeing what didn't work, but you're also seeing your tenacity, how you keep trying, and how you always find another solution. You always see another way. Yet making those mistakes also shows you, you know, that you need compassion for yourself. So there's this beautiful mix of you're seeing your strengths, and you're also seeing where sometimes it doesn't all work out. You know, we're not perfect, but it doesn't matter, because in our imperfectness, perfect. I feel this card is really that it's compassion. And I think that compassion you're bringing to yourself, pole number 4, but I feel that radiates out into the world. Because I feel that this healing that you're receiving, you actually then put that out into the world. Beauty lies beneath. You know, I think you're uncovering as well, pole number 4, that there's more to you to love than you ever would have imagined. You're uncovering aspects of yourself that maybe you never realized you had. And I feel that in a really quiet, nurturing way, you're really proud of yourself. And I really feel like you're happy to be you. This new journey feels like an adventure, It feels like a fresh start that just keeps giving. It feels like I can feel your energy expanding. I can feel that with each step you get more and more into the world, but still so connected to who you are. With every step you don't lose yourself in the world, you actually become more aware of yourself. And so with each step you bring more of yourself to the world. And there's this beautiful energy of not needing to hide, not being apologetic, not feeling less than. There's a real sense here of, it's not an arrogant self-belief in yourself. You don't arrogantly love yourself or think that you're magnificent, because you don't think that you're any better than anybody else. You feel that everybody's like this. Everybody has this potential. This love for yourself, this gentleness that you bring to yourself, pole number 4, you actually bring that to others. You bring that to your interactions with others. And they feel that. It's tangible. You're finishing with the Pentacle. And that's tangible things in your life. This is definitely your journey with these court cards. This is you. But this has like a knock-on effect in your world. Situations, jobs, family life, people around you, partnerships, whatever it is, all those tangible things, where we are, where we live. And there's this harmony. It really is harmony, pole number 4. What a month, my friends. And it leads out into November. Spirit actually has just drawn me to the 45 on this card, and that comes to a 9. And in numerology, that's the end of a cycle. But I feel that that's the end that starts the new beginning. And this 6, the 42 is a 6. This is your home. This is your world. The 6s are our family, our home environment, people in our life, home business, but it's what hits home. So this is so close to you, but I feel that it vibrates out to the world. Each step leads to more discovery, which leads to a 9. The end, okay, there's that little journey that's been done because that's been discovered, and it opens you straight back up to another journey, and then another journey. And I just feel like you just keep growing and things just keep manifesting. Amazing reading, my friends. I'm going to leave you with those messages, pole number 4. Love, light and blessings, my friends. Have a wonderful month and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.